Ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, people of all ages, how are you guys doing? My name is Blocks, and welcome back to our BeastNode Server tutorial with today of a more in-depth plugin review, kind of just talking to you guys, kind of making sure you guys all have an understanding of how the in-depth plugins works. So, without further ado, in the description below, there will be a link to BeastNode. And we're just going to open that bad boy. And once you get there, you're all like always going to go to your multi-craft panel. Then go to your server. And my server is offline at the moment. But once you're in your server, go to Files on the left. Then go to your FTP file access. Now here, you will type in your multi-craft password. I've already typed it in, so I just hit login. And we should have our server files all ready to go for us. So once you're in your server properties and your server files, you're going to want to go to plugins, just like we talked about in our last video. Then you're going to want to go to, this is where your plugins is. So we have a couple of options. For each plugin, I showed you guys how to download the plugin and implement it here. And now in here, I'm going to show you guys a more in-depth with Essentials, maybe moving on to World Edit, World Guard, etc. But for right now, the Essentials is going to be our big one we're going to want to hit. Just to clarify what Essentials is, Essentials is your basic /TPA, your home, your /kits, your welcome messaging, all of that, all into one. So we're going to click on Essentials and get all that set up for us here. And then we're going to go to this config right over here, and we're going to go to edit. Now there also is a config broken, which I don't know what that is at the moment, but what we're going to worry about is our config.yml. So we're going to hit edit on that, and it's going to take us to the files right as it is. So this is actually a lot of information that you guys see, but we're going to break it down into a lot of less craziness, I guess you could say. So without further ado, we might as well tell you guys that as you see the pound, this number sign, this is a guide, so it's an introduction, and then underneath it, so for instance right here, so a color code between 0 and 7 or set to none. So this is giving you an example. This is like the display, and then underneath it is the physical mod. So when you go to change something, don't change something in the hashtag. I know I say that. Change something in the below. So we're just going to go down the list, and I'm going to pretty much clarify on some of these, kind of what you need. If you have any problems at all, join the Essentials Help Support channel on TinyCCL Essentials Chat. That's going to help you with any questions you have furthermore that I cannot help with. Now it's also going to tell you that no tabs are present, index are correct, and at the end you're going to want to save. Of course, all these can be re-backed up if you screw up for some reason. So we're going to go down. Color coding is just your basic colors, your OP name. So this is going to be like when you op yourself, the color code that you want it to be. For instance, 4 right now is red. So that's just a basic red. As soon as you /OP yourself in-game, whoever is OP, it will be red. Now, there is also a character to prefix all nicknames so that you know they are not true users. So nickname prefix right now is just set to none. There's also a maximum length allowed in the nickname. So, for instance, if you wanted to nick your name Sugar Mama Daddy 1257, you couldn't do it because that would exceed 15 letters, numbers, characters. So you have to say something relatively in that. You can set that to as much as you want or as low as you want. Now here you can see that disabling this will not affect the modify the display name. So right now that's like if you want to change your display name, you can do that there. Some of the options are, I don't know if you would necessarily want us to go all the way down this list, but I'm just going to briefly highlight over a couple that I have used a lot. So the delay in seconds before a user actually teleports. So a delay in seconds between their home, their TP. So that means when a player types /home on my server, it takes 5 seconds for them to actually teleport. So if you wanted it instantaneously, then you would instantly do that. Now, I have it set to 5 seconds so that, for instance, if you're in lava and you quickly do /home, that will not work for me. That will be a no-no, so you cannot do that. It limits you to 5 seconds, and that's for example, if you're in a battle and you want to type /home, you can't just quickly log out. You got to wait 5 seconds, and you will be not combat delayed. There is also delay in seconds before the user actually teleports. So if a user moves or gets hit, it's delayed to 5 seconds again. Now, there is in seconds, a player won't be attacked if they have used this command, teleported by a command. They will be preventing the player attacking the player. So I have invulnerability 4. A lot of these are presets that you can change later on. Now there is a cooldown, so between feed and heal. So that's /heal. You will be healing yourself. That takes 60 seconds. What to prevent from /give. These are just a couple items. Like if you didn't want, for example, you didn't want to give lava or something. If you didn't want your admins to give lava, you would go /spawn blacklist. Here's some examples of the spawning of the blacklist. At the moment, shall we notify users when using lightning? So if you two use /smite, I think it is, or /lightning, it would say mod what or op use this. When you type /mob, you can tell how many mobs you're going to want to spawn. So for instance, if you wanted 100, when you type /spawn mob, it would spawn 100. Now, some of these other ones are just basics. So, for example, the disable command, the social spy command. So, all of these commands, you can add or remove from plugins if you want to track them, remove commands. So, these are all something that you can see, /message, describe, etc. Now, these are your player commands. All these commands players can use. So, if you did not want a player to use, for instance, you didn't want a player to use /home. You would just highlight this and hit delete or your backspace, and then you'd save it, so then a player could no longer use that. For instance, there was a dash and then back. I removed that so players could not use /back at all. There's also /kit, /kit tools, etc. Moving on. Here, if you type /kit, you can now see that these are all kits. You can set up. This is basic stone tools. All these are presets, but if you wanted to give yourself, if you type /PvP kit, you could set the time to every 24 hours, for example. If you wanted to do a full iron, if you type this kit, all that can be done here. At the moment, all of these are only set to these 4, but this one is set to every 10 seconds. For mine, it's a little different. Some of the other things are, these are with signs. If you type in this sign /game mode, it will change your game mode, etc. Kind of just going down. Some of these other things, little lists. You guys can read all of these. I'm just kind of briefly going over a lot of these. For instance, the max fly speed, the max amount of mail you can send within a minute. Then they move on to Essentials Home, and then the Essentials Economy if you want to set that up. There's also Essentials Help, etc. Essentials Chat, so if you want to change anything there. Essentials Protect, so for instance, water bucket flow, false, lava flow, false, lava fire spread, true, so lava will burn. Spawning all of these, prevent the spawning of creatures, so false, 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 false. So all of these mobs can be spawned. Now, for instance, if you didn't want any sheep or something, you could just hit true, and then no mob of sheep would ever be spawned. Now, the max height that a creeper will explode, at the moment it's set to -1, allowing them to explode everywhere. You can set that to exploding to true if you want to disable creeper explosion, so if you no longer want a creeper to blow up. There's also fall damage, so if you fall, some of the other things you can read here, but you're just going to want to change these lower. Don't change the hashtag, just change the lower amount. If you have any questions below, let me know. And once you're done with everything you have set, so there's also a welcome announcement at the moment. You can just hit welcome, and then there you go. At the moment, for mine, it just says welcome, their display name. So we're going to click back because I don't want those files to be saved. And that is your first plugin for Essentials. Now we move on to plugins again, and that's an in-depth look on plugins. We move in together, more in-depth, and we have our world guard, our world edit. So we're going to move on to world edit. So we have our edit, our configs. So here you can change all of this. So the wand item, at the moment it's a wood axe, so you can change that to when you type /wand. Some of these other things, the max block changing, the disallowed block, use inventory, etc. Kind of just some other stuff, super pickaxe, logins, and that pretty much describes everything we have for this part. Now we move back up to go to the other plugins, and you can move all of these. I'll show you, for instance, the player heads is one I messed around with a lot. We're just going to go to the edit, the config. Now here, so all these hashtags you don't want to worry about. See, I tried to change this, so, oh, come on, get out of there. There we go. Okay, when a player spawns, only drops when a player is killed. I kept trying to change this to true and false. That is literally not going to do anything. What you're going to want to do is come down here and change this to false or true. And then I have, for instance, chances of a trophy when a player dies. At the moment it's set to 0.5. I wanted it to 0.1. So 100% of the time when you kill a player, their head will drop. So that is, it fixes. You're going to want to change down here, not up there, otherwise it will not work. So you're going to save that, and you are good to go. Now tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but our next episode, we're going to actually get in-depth on the Minecraft and show you guys a more tutorial-like help with the server itself. So the more server side, this is kind of just the back side. Now, I do not have anything set up with permissions. I wonder if this... We had a little error earlier trying to hit start and it wouldn't start. So, yeah, it's not going to. But, if we move on, there was, what was I talking about? Shoot. I don't know. Sorry, I lost train of thought there. You guys can probably just rewind the video and you'll be able to see instantaneously. But I will not be able to. So under plugins right now, we're going to go all through all that later. Oh, permissions. That's what I was talking about. So I don't actually have permissions set up. Permissions is if you want to set your own specific like ranks on your server. So if you wanted, for instance, a admin, if you wanted a noob, a different ranks on your server, we'll just leave it at ranks. You can set up that. I do not have that. If you guys want to see is that plugin set up, let me know, because I will be more than glad to show you. I just have to learn how to do it first. I have not messed around with that because right now everybody is everybody. Everybody's equal, so I don't have to worry about any of that. And that's if you want like a VIP rank, etc. So that makes a lot of benefits if you want to have them do /back, etc. So these are kind of just the basic plugins I have. Right now I'll just give you a little sum. I knew I'd give a little description last video, but my server's kind of just a free-for-all, PvP galore, go kill everybody, and all the things I needed was just to set a world boundary, but now with 1.8 you can do that automatically. Some of the other things I needed was to not destroy our spawn, and not to have people kill each other at spawn, and not to have mobs spawn, so that makes that a lot easier. Some of the other things I needed was players to go back. So all these plugins help tremendous. Now in order to have world edit or world guard, I needed world edit, and I used world guard so that I could set people not to destroy. I use that a lot, but that clarifies everything there. Now I pretty much think we've covered everything that we need to within the server itself. That's pretty good, because that is what we need to actually begin our server. So we should be able to, in the very next episode, show you guys the rest of the server, the back side of the server, the actual server itself, what you guys see. But first thing I wanted to show you guys really fast was our server properties. Now here under your MOTD at the moment, so when you first log into a server, let's show you really fast. I don't know how long this will take. Hold on a second. let's see if this is going to work. I just want to show you guys something really fast on the Minecraft itself. So we're gonna hit pull. We're gonna go to a non. Let's just go to 1.7 Optifine. Let's just go to Optifine for 1.7.10. Perfect. Okay, so we're just gonna go to 1.7.10 and go to our old server, and we're gonna show you guys that really fast. I'm just going to show you what the MOTD, if you're not familiar what is. And you guys can change this by yourself via the colors. So, an MOTD is this part. For instance, welcome to the AbovetheBlock server. The Hive MC, that's another one. This Hypixel, this is another one. Nick is gay. Some of the other things, just that is an MODT. So I'm going to destroy out of that. But go back to this, and as you can see, I have these color codes in front of each of the letters. So you're gonna want to go to Google, and for example, Google Minecraft color codes for your MODT. And why is that my default browser? I think we had a screw up. Anyway, so formatting codes. When we talk about the colors, this is not. This may be. Yes. Okay, so for instance, you're going to type this, you're going to copy paste this, and if you wanted it all to be white, then you would just implement that, and that's another big thing. So hopefully that gives you a little more in description of what we're working with there. Now that gives you pretty much everything we have on the server backside. So I hope that all helped. If you guys have any other questions or anything you'd like to see on the back workings of the server, please comment down in the comments below what you guys want to see. If you're enjoying this and it's keeping you guys well informed, please do me a favor, click that like button, and please go use this BeastNode server. They're really cool. And I hope that that helps tremendously. And thank you guys for watching. And as always, please wash your hands. Bye now.